So we are moving on to day 3, strings. What are strings? We have seen strings all along. For example, if you define a variable, say name equals some name, Ajay Tech, that variable is a string. So a string can be enclosed either in single quotes or double quotes. You can't have a combination of both, but you can have either single quotes or double quotes. So like this is double quotes, this is single quotes. And if you use the type function for name for a string variable, Python will return it as a string. Right? So we have seen some examples of how to use type to get the type of the variable. Is it a string? Is it an integer? So on and so forth. Now, what if you wanted a single quote or a double quote in the string? For example, look at this. So we want to have a string like this, Ajay Tech tutorial apostrophe S. So that's actually a single quote. If you use single quotes for the entire string, how can you have a single quote here as part of the string itself? That's not possible, right? Let's try it in Jupyter. Okay, name equals, so this is a string, no problem. Shift enter, works okay. And if you say type of name, it will be of type string, right? Okay. Now, what about name equals Ajay Tech's tutorial? Now, because these are all double quotes that you see here, so this is a double quote, this is a double quote. So if you have a single quote inside it, it's not a problem. Remember we said a string can either be enclosed within double quotes or single quotes. Like so. Now what? You see, it doesn't work. So the string in this case is ending right here, and this is all just hanging there. And if you try to execute this, it doesn't work. It gives you a syntax error. Let's try it. Shift enter. See, it says invalid syntax. Because up until here, it's considering it as a string. And beyond that, it doesn't know what this is. Is it a half string, or why are you appending one string to another like that? It doesn't know what's going on there. There are basically two ways around it. One way, which we have already seen, which is if you want a single quote, enclose it in double quotes. If you want a double quote inside the string, enclose it in single quotes. But if you don't want to do either of it and you want to systematically solve it, you got to escape any of these characters with a backslash. Now you see the color has changed. The syntax is correct. Shift execute. This works. If you want to print the name, print name, enter, the entire string is printed. So a better solution typically when you read text from files or when you read text from online streams like a web service, the text could contain single quotes, double quotes. So how do you deal with that? You deal with that by escaping single quotes or double quotes. Choose a method, either use single quotes or double quotes, and escape all of the other characters. Like if you're choosing a single quote, escape double quotes. If you're choosing double quotes for your string, escape single quotes. That's the best way to deal with strings that might contain single or double quotes. Now, other than that, any other character is fine. Basically, ampersand, any special characters, special symbols, everything is fine. So that is how we define strings. Now let's move on to another aspect of strings called string indexing. So what is indexing? String indexing. So every string in Python is indexed. So when we said name equals Ajay Tech, something like this, name equals Ajay Tech within single or double quotes. Internally, Python stores it as a sequence of characters, all right? And then you can access each of these elements using its index, starting with 0. Just like Java or C language, C++ languages, all indices start with 0. So if you want to know what the third character, in fact the fourth character, using the index 3. If you want to know what's the fourth character, you say what is name of 3, because fourth character is represented by an index 3 because we are starting with 0. Similarly, what is the ninth character? Name of 8. So this bracket, square bracket, is used to represent the fact that we are trying to index that string. Now this square bracket is going to be used in quite a lot of cases, and when we come to data structures, we'll understand more about why and when to use these square brackets, especially with lists. For now, just understand that all the characters in a string are indexed starting with 0, and you can access each of the individual elements in a string using its index. Let's see an example. So remember, name equal to JTech, and we can access each of the individual elements, right? Name of 0, that will be the first character, A, right? Name of 1, J, right? So this is how you access individual elements in a string using indexing.